Now I'm recording. And you need like a sign that you hold up that says like record. um, so I'm excited that you guys to read what you've been sharing. I'm proud of you guys. Like Emerald, something that was taught, like I guess it was about 2 years ago that Summer Tucker had said in the training is, Emerald is a decision, Diamond is a decision, 2-star is a decision. Like when you want to reach a goal in your business, it's a decision you make. Like if you want to finish 80 Day Obsession, you choose it. It's no different. It really isn't. And yes, there is one part of it you cannot control is whether or not people say yes. But you have so many pieces that you can control. And so I want to talk to you a little bit today about evaluating to make sure that you're doing the things that you can control well. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing all of those things consistently, you will reach your goal. But if you're only doing them for immediate gratification, it's no different than how many of you have done a workout program and 2 weeks in you've gained because your body is adjusting to the changes, and you bloat or you doubt or you wonder if it's going to work, or when you're doing 2B mindset and you're eating all the vegetables and you're like, I remember when I started doing gut health healing, the first month of the 131, I did this thing with Chalene Johnson. I had to eat a ton of vegetables one month, and I gained so much weight the first week because I was bloated because my body wasn't used to it. So I made adjustments. I started cooking the vegetables really well. And by the end of it, I felt amazing. But if I quit just because it didn't work that first time, it wouldn't have, like, that wasn't the method failed. I just stopped. So whether you hit Emerald this week, next week, the next week, whether you are Emerald and you go Emerald again, like you literally have to have the mindset of like, it's just my goal. Like, it's just what I'm doing. And not let the time it takes you to get there to mess with your mindset. So the first thing I want to talk to you about that's very important if you want to grow really in life, but definitely in this business, is we talked last week about your mission statement. I love that. Your mission is what you're going to share on your social media. It is what you're going to share when you share with people what you do. Like when you invite people, your invitation should have a piece of your mission in it. It's what you are offering to help. So like if your mission is to help, women find freedom, comfort in their skin, and overcome emotional eating, when you're talking to people and you're asking questions, you want to figure out what part of your mission can serve them, not just put it in their face. Like you're there to figure out what you have to offer and how it can serve them. And then same in the business. Like, I think I shared this already. Like my husband and I went out last week on a date, and he said to me, Kelly, I noticed that sometimes, he said, this works so well that when someone comes to you with a concern, you're quick to give them the solution. He said, but sometimes what might help is if you ask them a few what questions to open them up to guide them to the solution. So it's almost like a mutual agreed upon thing. He's like, that's how I teach. Like, he's like, I don't tell kids, this is the truth of what morality says. He'll say like, what do you think? What do you think? And he said, it's like leading the horse to water and showing them they're thirsty. And it's so funny, y'all. I've been a coach for almost 6 years and I know that. I've been in a million trainings, but what happened is I got tired and I'm like, well, I know what can help you. You need the 2B mindset because it's going to do all. And so he said, what happens is it just intimidates people. And so I've slowed down the last week. And before I give a solution, I think, is there a question I can ask, especially with coaching? I had a girl and I sent her the video, and instead of answering, I said, what do you think this could do for you? How do you think this could affect your family? Well, what are your thoughts about starting with your fitness journey and then leaning into coaching a few months down the road? Like in the video I shared, that's what I did. And so she, God willing, is signing up tomorrow as a coach, and she's going to start in the challenge group. I'm like, good. Yeah. So, but it was with the what questions, you know what I'm saying? It changed. So even at 6, yes, it's completely the Socratic method, Sarah. And it's funny because I took over my husband. He taught homeschool co-ops on the side because he loves to teach. And one year he was like, I can't teach the co-op, so you're teaching it. Like, I didn't even get asked if I wanted to. I got voluntold that I was teaching high schoolers about theology of the body. And as much as I love that, I hadn't taught in 12 years and I freaked out about it. And I went in and he's like, you just got to do the Socratic method. And I'm like, I'm just too tired to do the Socratic method. I just want to tell them the information because my heart wasn't in it. And so I'm glad you brought that up, because before you do your inviting, reading your mission statement is a great way to do a heart check, because then you're almost excited to lead them to the answer. Does that make sense? Then, and my husband's really good at the Socratic method, which is why he wants to do this webinar with me, as a opportunity for us to share with people. So mission statement's important. Second part though is, as soon as you have a mission, you're going to have limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are, you can call them your inner mean girl. You can call them, I don't want to use a bad word, but the jackfish that's in your head. You can call them whatever you want to say. It's that stuff that comes at you when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. They're meant to protect you when you're in danger, but not protect you when you can grow. And I used to think that the way to solve them was just to keep going, but they will get louder and louder the closer you get to your goal. They just will, because you're about to let go of you have to let go of them to grow, and they don't want you to. And so if you have been hearing things like y'all were saying in the threads, I think you said this, Sarah, like, I don't want to be icky at sales. Okay. That's a good thing. But if you send a message and you hear in your head, they're just going to think you want something, that's a limiting belief. That's how they kind of fit in. And so you just read your mission statement, or say like, if you, it's totally trying to keep us the status quo. I'm reading a book called Interior Freedom right now by Jacques Philippe. I think it's how you say Father Jacques Philippe. This book is blowing my mind. It's so good. And one of the things he talks about limiting beliefs, and he says that like some of them are attached to something someone has said to us in our past and that we need to forgive them. And some of them are just like that temptation. I don't know if you've ever read Screw Tape Letters, like to just be mediocre. And so I want you guys this week to pay attention to what they are. I have ones that run through my mind, like you'll never reach that goal because you're just not smart enough. Like I've struggled for a long time feeling not smart. I'm not very good with numbers. Like math is a weakness of mine. So when people used to ask me volume and comp plan questions, I used to always defer to someone else because I thought I just wasn't good at it. I actually learned a lot about the comp plan. And now, like yesterday, I was on a call with a bunch of 5-star and above coaches who are mentoring some of us who want to hit 5-star. And they were talking volume, and the thought came in, you're just dumb about this. Like, you'll never understand. And I'm like, no, I just need to learn it. So I have a reply to limiting belief. That is something I need to learn. That is something I'm capable of learning, or a big limiting belief before events. I don't belong here. I don't fit in. If people really knew me, they would leave. That's a limiting belief I have. It's rooted in my dad leaving when I was 5. I mean, I know this sounds like therapy, but it has affected my business. So what do? I show up anyway. And I started to say, I belong here. Who I am matters. And I add value to this community. Like I had to just write the truth. So I want you to take some time to write down what those beliefs, they will change. Some of them will stay the same, but they'll kind of morph. And then you write them down, and then underneath them, you write an affirmation and you read them daily. Like you should read your mission statement every day. You should read your affirmations every day. To me, it's the same as prayer. It's covering myself in the morning in prayer because they're true statements about you that I believe God wants you to achieve. And I honestly think the blessing of this business and these challenge groups is we bring people freedom by unlocking these beliefs in their life that actually make them eat the pan of brownies. So not only do they stop doing that, they learn that they're lovable. So yours might be, I'm not good with people. Well, I'm just an introvert. Okay, well, the introverts have friends. Like I'm not that coach. You're not supposed to be that coach. You need to be you. Like these are just, their limiting beliefs can be very rooted in comparison. And so, I've been doing, I have noticed a limiting belief I imposed on myself was saying I'm in a recruiting rut. I had to change that and stop saying that. No, I'm in a season of planting a lot of seeds. You know what I'm saying? And so when you know your limiting beliefs and you write your affirmations, what happens is you become solution centered. Like when you hear it, when a person comes with an objection, instead of it feeding the limiting belief, instead you're like, oh, that's an obstacle that person has, and my job is to help them overcome it, not an objection they're giving me because I'm not enough. And if we don't face our limiting beliefs, our whole worth gets wrapped up in the outcome of our business. I don't want you to become an emerald coach or a diamond coach and think that your worth is wrapped up in your rank, so that if you drop it in a week, you stink. I want your worth to be wrapped up in the fact that you're amazing. And then those accolades are just an extension of the lives you're helping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because I see a lot of coaches who hit these big ranks and their worth is literally wrapped up in their rank. Like they feel like worthless when they're not at their rank. They have to have the recognition. I want you to have it. I want you all to be on stage. I have a dream of like all these husbands being 15-star coaches, and how hilarious it would be that we would all be like in the stands, like clapping, and all of our husbands would be on stage and they'd be like not knowing how to answer a single question from Carl Deichler, but that's okay because, but my point is, but I don't want you to think you have to get there to be worthy, you know? So that was what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. The other thing was, if you're feeling icky, if you're worried about it, that's a good thing. And because you're checking your motives, we're all going to send a bad invite. We're all going to get excited and barf too much information on someone. That will happen. But with how you recover from it, I've told people like, I'm so sorry, I was just super excited. People can read your heart and they're usually like, no, it's fine. Like if you come back, like they know. And what they see on your social media and what they see when you add more value than just posting your workouts every day, like you're actually giving some value, it makes a big difference. So Kayla Ibanez, who did our call on Instagram, is doing a 5-day Stop the Hey Girl challenge next week. If you're not enrolled in it, it's free. It's in her Facebook group. If you're not in her Facebook group, even it's a great group to be in. She does a live training once a week, and they are Instagram focused, but these trainings actually offer like how to talk to people and not be just cold messaging, how to not be icky, how to add value, how to start good conversation. I posted one of her examples yesterday that she shared just on Instagram. So he like wants to nurse whenever I'm talking to people. He doesn't want to nurse all day long until I'm talking to someone. And then he's like, I got to mark my territory. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? I recommend you sign up for it. I put it in the team page. So, or you can go to her Instagram and it's on the profile. There's a link to sign up for Stop the Hey Girl, I believe too. But it starts Monday. I think that will help because it'll just give you some, she's just going to, what she's training on is good for Facebook and Instagram, especially because Facebook has stories now. And a lot of the stuff with Facebook is, I mean, they own both and it's very similar. Like every call I'm nursing. Anyway, so I wanted to mention that because that is a great tool for you guys to help you. Like I'm doing it again. She did it last month or in January, and she's redoing it this time. And she's been going live every day leading up to it to talk about stuff because she's going to offer even new stuff for next week. But based on like, I love how she's taught me like to connect with people asking for feedback and how to give value. And it's almost like she says, consider your connections market research. And then when you ask people what they need and you start to offer them what they need, then it's less icky if you invite them to a group because you've been giving them what they've asked for. And so it's almost like giving them another opportunity to dig more into what they've asked for. So now I wanted to just take the rest of the time though to talk about how it's going, answer questions. Angie said she can help too. I want that mug. The best mug. So if y'all want to just unmute, talk about who you invited, talk about how it's going, like what are your thoughts? And Angie, if you wouldn't mind helping answer questions. You can just unmute yourself if y'all have anything. Or if Angie, you have anything you want to add.
One of the things I found from the limiting beliefs is they don't always come from us. Sometimes we have said them so many times, they come from our husband or our kids, or like, you're never going to lose the weight. You've tried so many different things. Nothing's ever going to work. sometimes those limiting beliefs come from other people. So listen to those too. But instead of like fighting with them, or like my husband said this morning, you've tried so many different things and you've had a hard time losing weight since whenever. And I'm like, shut up. Like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm going to take care of it. Like, I know I can do this. I just have to like buckle down and actually do the things. But sometimes those limiting beliefs don't just come from inside of our head. A lot of times they do, but a lot of times we have said them so many times. I'm so frustrated. I can't hit my goals. I can't hit my rank. I can't sign another coach. I'm so frustrated. And they're like, maybe this just isn't for you. Okay, wait, no, that's not true. You need to listen to those voices too, because sometimes they come from other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we just need to stop saying, I can't do this, and say, I'm in a rut, or I'm having a hard time and I'm going to sign people up, or I'm talking to more people and I'm planting seeds, or whatever it is you need to say to make it more positive, so that you hear that stuff from the people around us as well.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when it comes from inside and from outside.
And that's why like these little pods of doing the group together are so good, because we can show each other. Like in this business, I have lots of coach friends, and there are some that when I'm around fill me up, and there were some when I'm around, like I love them, but it's hard because they have a lot of negativity. So I find if I'm around one of them, I have to go do something positive after, or it'll affect, it just affects you. You know what I mean? I love, there's family members of mine like that. I love them, but man, when they leave, I'm like, I need some sunshine, because they're just in a, or like Courtney, when he offers to help me, I asked him, like, do you think it's because I'm not capable? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, because in my family, it was always, I'll do it for you because you're not good at it. And so I've had to recognize that limiting belief. Like, no, he's not offering to do that because he thinks I'm not good at it. He just wants to help, So yes, you're right. It definitely can come from other places, and you have to be careful what you say. Like, I try to not say I'm struggling. I try to say I'm being challenged. That was one that really Wilcox taught me. And I try not to say try when I'm doing something new, because try implies I don't really fully commit. Like, I am, like I am going to lose the weight. Like, I'm going to try.
Right.
So one of the activities that, I don't know if we did it in here, what group I was in at the time, because, we're always in so many groups. But one of the activities I loved was taking those negative thoughts, whatever it's your own limiting beliefs, if it's something somebody imposed on you and you have now internalized that, writing those down and then changing them to the positive, and those being your affirmations every day.
Yes.
I love that activity. And it was amazing when I did that. I wrote down all my limiting beliefs. Then I pictured myself saying those to my children. Like, would I really ever say something like that to my children? Yeah. And it broke me down. I was just in tears. And I thought, why would I do that to myself? Mm-hmm. So then I wrote it to the positive, and those became my affirmations.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah. Like, and I would do that for y'all. I would say, like, even every morning, have your affirmations, but if you have anything weighing on you that the last couple days, write it down and cross through it and write a new. I mean, this is not a one and done. Like, you will do this for the rest of your life. You don't have to, but I recommend it,
And they'll change. And that's why what I was going to ask you, Jennifer, is have you changed any of them, or do you do the same ones, or have you stopped doing them and you need to start again, or?
I did them for a while, and then I kind of changed them, and instead of doing my limiting beliefs, I just wrote a bunch of affirmations, and I feel like doing that, they don't mean as much to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it doesn't fit necessarily where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right.
So I need to go back, rewrite all of that stuff, turn those into my affirmations, and then, that makes a great post for social media too. I used to think this, now I tell myself this. Yeah. My goal is to be here. It helps in all aspects, with your business, with your mindset, with how you relate to people, your family, your friends, all of that. It just all works together.
Yeah.
And it will make your business feel, if you feel like it's icky or you feel very salesy, it won't feel that way, because you are changing your life, and you're offering to reach out your hand and change other people's lives in the same way. So
yeah,
yeah.
no, I love that. I think that's great. We're actually going to do something like that for free. Because Erin's gonna, I have an old call. I'll try to find that Erin did, like a old team call Erin Booker did, where she talked about this. What you're saying with the limb. He's okay. Okay. Anybody else? Angie, you want to help while I go check on him?
Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Have you been inviting? What are you inviting to? How about that?
I've been inviting to Clean Week. I invited all my challengers from the veggie group, and I think all but 2 have responded so far, and I think I had 10 in there. So I've gotten all my invites for Clean Week from that group, and I'm continuing inviting for that. So
good. And even if your challengers don't purchase the Clean Week stuff by today, which is kind of when they should purchase it for next week, even if they don't get it purchased, they can still be in there. They can still do the workouts. They just need to purchase it like this weekend so that it's on the way. And then they can do the shakes after they get them, but they can start the workouts on Monday just like everybody else. So, and you can invite anybody to this because it's only $30 and it's a week and they can give it a try. I didn't read what that said. How about anybody else? Who else is in here? Let me see. Joe, have you been inviting?
I've been starting new conversations. I did invite a few people. I have one link to a friend, but she hasn't clicked it. She keeps forgetting that I sent it, according to her, and I keep following up with her. So, and that's a good idea that Jen had from the veggie group to reconnect with the people we had in that group. I'm going to start that today. And I had some interest on a Instagram post I posted last night about the Clean Week group. And I'm talking with somebody about that.
Great. Maria,
and Jennifer, I love that idea about the self-limiting beliefs, but writing them down and then turning them to affirmations. That's a really good idea.
They're going to be the most personal and powerful if you do them that way.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of them.
Yeah. Sarah, one person invited to the last Clean Weekend. It's my favorite. Last Clean Week. Oh. And if you're inviting to Clean Week, and you can invite from anybody who's ever been in a free group with you, anybody who's been in a challenge group and dropped off, because this is an easy way for them to pick back up. Anybody who you know has done Beachbody workouts in the past or been a coach even in the past that's worked with somebody else, they can sign up with you and they can sign up under you and just get started brand new and fresh and clean, starting with Clean Week. And it's an easy way for them to get back into the community. So I encourage you to invite anybody that you think might be interested or it might change their life, because honestly, this is the easiest way to get into it without having to purchase a challenge pack or something like that. Because we talk about all the kind of basics of what we do in challenge groups.
And one of the things, like with Clean Week, because it's only $30, they get the workouts with it. They have a whole week's worth of workouts. They get to try the Shakeology. But here we are heading into spring. People want to get ready for summer, and this is a perfect time to lead with that. Like, hey, here, we're coming into spring. The sun has been shining here. I hope it is wherever you guys have been. But like, people are starting to feel that now. We're not still in the dumpy, very tail end of winter where it's all just done. People are starting to get that spring fever, and that's a great way too to lead into any of the challenge groups right now.
And I might encourage all of you to post a picture of like one of your meals, or a question about recipes, or a question about getting started with something today, so that you have a post where you can then go to that post and invite people from that post. So if you post a picture of your breakfast and it's a good healthy breakfast, and you can say, if you want the recipe, message me. And then you can message them and you can say, hey, you know what? I have this Clean Week group next week. Would you be interested? I would love to have you join me. We're going to talk about food and fitness, and there's $30 just for the materials. And that way you have something that you're directly using as a post so that you can invite from it. And that way you're being intentional about your business too. You're not just kind of, well, whatever happens, happens. Like if you post your food, people will talk about it and look at it, and you can ask if they want the recipe, or you can ask if they want more information about a group that might have the stuff in it, or however you want to do it. But be intentional about your posts. So then next week, if you're going to come from Clean Week, you can invite to the challenge groups. We have a Portion Fix group starting the next week. We still have To Be Mindset group, and we have a regular group. So you can make sure that you're intentional about those posts to invite from that to the next group. This business can't work if you're just kind of on the fly. You got to have some intentionality to everything that you do. All right. So let's see. Maria, are you still there? Maria went black. Oh, there you are. How are things going, Maria? Oh, she can't hear me. All right. Rachel. Yes. You're not going to talk? Okay. I can't get Rachel to talk. Does anybody else have any other questions or concerns or things that you worries about inviting, or things that you have questions about that we can help you guys with? Kelly, when we be done?
Do what?
We might be done.
Yeah, this is good. One other thing I was going to tell you, I love that you mentioned old groups too, Jennifer. Like I'm going to be going into some groups and just saying, asking for feedback, and then mentioning Clean Week. Like I'm looking for feedback of things that I can offer value-wise to help people with these things. And, wanted to mention that I'm putting this together. So that it's almost like an open exchange, because even if they don't want to do the group and they give you feedback, it gives you insight as to content for you to put on your page that could engage them and help them. So no, this is good. So we will meet next week at 9. In the meantime, just keep working on those invites, y'all. If you have an invite, send it in, ask for help. Like this is the one part that is only you can control, but if you made it a goal, it's totally possible. So be thinking about it. Think about even family members that you would like to try Shakeology, or who might, benefit from what we have to offer too. Inviting to Clean Week is good. And but also like I said, the first couple people you invite to your team sometimes are more friends that you want to get involved with you too, which is a fun way to add people. If you have someone does a Clean Week and then they decide to upgrade to a challenge pack, and you want to say to them hey, I don't know if you've ever thought about this before we get you set up, but I would love to have you alongside me as part of my team, and then we could talk about, have you ever considered doing what I do? You never know. You know what I'm saying? He's I'm going to pray really quick, and then I have to rest. This is my days. Can you pray? Just that's a smile. Can you pray? Okay. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this group. I just want to pray, Lord, for everyone here and those listening to the recording, for them to have courage to reach out to people, for people's hearts to be open to receive. Lord, I ask that you would grow our team and help us to be a light, help us to serve others well, help us to find healing and freedom and hope in our journey, and inspire it in others. I pray for all of the women here and their boldness and their bravery to just step up, Lord, as leaders in their desire to grow a team, to reach more people. And I ask that you would just grant their desire, Lord, that you would send people to be a part of their team, that you would help our team to lift each other up. I pray for those coming into our Clean Week, into our challenge groups, and into our team. And I just give you thanks that we get to do this together, Lord. We pray all of these things in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you guys. Bye. Goodbye. Now I'm just going to touch all the buttons. All right, I'm going to go. go manage the Xavier. Bye, y'all.